If I was in their shoes and I saw a ship sail into the harbor, a part of me would be scared, but a part of me would also see this light. More people are coming, more people are wanting to be a part of your land. They want to embrace you. It's a beautiful thing, sharing a story. But first, you have to listen.
The people that come over on the Hector were the leaders in the first wave of Scottish immigration to Canada. They branched out coast to coast to coast and helped build this country.
This project to build a replica
Reaches a long ways back in history. That is our heritage. A big part of us is the Hector and what the settlers brought to this area. But they arrived on land that was already home to many. This ship carries both stories.
I had 8 ancestors on the ship Hector. Just stepping off the ship, I think would have been quite frightening. It was very, very harsh winters. If it wasn't for the Mi'kmaq peoples, our peoples would not have survived. And I wouldn't be here today, or my children, or my grandchildren.
I feel like when my people seen a ship coming, and they're probably wondering what it is, if they found that people was in trouble, I feel like they would be helping right away.
On behalf of my ancestors, I'm going to present this to you.
Thank you so much.
The ship Hector landed here in 1773 with 189 passengers. They were 11 weeks at sea. It wasn't supposed to be that long. They ran out of food. Not everybody made it. It wasn't easy for them to come here. It was really hard. A lot of them didn't want to leave Scotland. Families left because they had to. They weren't able to feed their kids. They would have had to sell everything to pay for their passage because these people were poor. And they came by the hundreds and then the thousands. The settlers, when they came, changed the land forever. The culture, the customs. I think we have an obligation to know who our ancestors were. It tells you what kind of people you came from, whose blood is in you. And then you feel connected. I'm here because they were here. I exist because they existed.
You know, my mom was talking about being a descendant of the ship Hector since I was very young. This was the landing spot. Setting foot in the place where your family landed or came from, it's grounding. I mean, they could have landed anywhere, right? But they landed here. And it was meant to be. I can't stress the importance of finding your roots and knowing you come from somewhere. When my mother passed at 100 years old, I knew she would want to go right where they stepped ashore with all the people that she looked so hard to find. And now she's here.
Every time I hear stories from my grandfather, it's like a part of my heart opens up. feel more alive. It's like I'm reaching a part of me that I'm meant to be.
What do you think the land remembers?
What do you think the land remembers? My brothers, sisters, uncles, my ancestors, all people taking care of the country, taking care of the land, taking care of the people.
It really lifts up the kids to come out here and like they're connected to the land. The students learn about different plants and their medicinal uses and just ways that they used to use the land. I think they're learning a new sense of friendship. As a teacher, my role is to empower my students to be ambassadors of their culture. And as kids are sharing their story and sharing about their family's traditions, it's going to build up a new respect and hopefully something that we can all celebrate more in unison.
I've only just discovered that we had an ancestor who was on the ship Hector. This is our family, this is our roots, this is our history, and we're part of it. When you walk the grounds where they actually walked, it's humbling. It's not just about the ship, but what it symbolizes for Atlantic Canada, for Nova Scotia, for the country. It's a story of resilience, of hope, and welcoming newcomers.
I am from Syria. We came to Canada 2016. The ship Hector, when the people come in, we are about same. It's just different language. We need to find safer place for our kids. I arrived in Pictou midnight, and I saw also many people inside the home. They making food. Guys, welcome. I feel safe many 1000%. It is a beautiful country. My kids safe, my wife is safe.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And we feel this is our home.
When the Hector came here, I think people were saying they were brave. I'd love to be a captain of a boat someday because boats are beautiful. I was like really surprised, like of how big it was and how like incredible it is. I'm gonna sail on it.
We have this vessel. We got to finish it. There's no two ways about it. We are so darn close, but we have a lot of work to do. Engines, masts, rigging, the guts of the ship. This place, to me, it's special. It has a story to tell the rest of Canada.
We have the opportunity to move forward so that we are learning and remembering and seeing our mistakes and seeing our good stuff. And I think we can make it better.
If we want to see her sail, we got to do it together. Are you coming with me?
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are gathered on the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people in Mi'kma'ki. We recognize the Peace and Friendship Treaty of 1752, which promised mutual respect, peaceful coexistence, and shared use of the land, not surrender. The ship Hector arrived 21 years later in 1773, bringing settlers to these shores. Today, we acknowledge that history and commit to a renewed partnership, one that seeks to honor the intent of those treaties through respect, reconciliation, and shared understanding. We are grateful to live, work, and gather in this land. Before we continue with today's program, we invite you to join us in a moment of reflection as we welcome a traditional Mi'kmaq smudging ceremony. And if you could, if the sun's not too hot and you got your sunscreen on, please remove your hats. And if Michelle and Drew could come to the stage, we'd be honored if you'd lead this ceremony.
Good morning, everyone, and we are honored to be here today, my daughter Michelle and myself, and what a good day. Willie Sipu. It means a good day to be together. I will start with the opening prayer. Normally we call the eagle first to send our prayers up to the Creator, because He's the one that can fly the highest. So I will start. Gizul walaliek. Walaliek dan dema oliek atema tiskadutiek. Atandelu uligaskik. Atesajik mima jodu. Abamusiek. We've been neighbors for a number of years, and we'll continue to thrive on that, and we are grateful to be here today, and welcome everyone that is here today. Walalia.
Magnifying glass probably worked today.
Yeah, you go do the drum.
Maybe I should be up there. Maybe they'll suck a whack out of here.
The reason why we smudge is that we smudge our heads to think good thoughts, and then we smudge our ears so we can hear nothing but good, and then with the eyes that we can see the good of everybody, and then you only speak good words from your mouth, and then you bless yourself, you smudge yourself. You can smudge everybody off. I'll keep this prayer going. Nuchinen waso ebin jiptuk delwisin migade mek waso tlidanen. Jiptuk ignami ek moonlight waledisen. Na del waso ekik delis hadaskip. Jiptuk up minen delis hadalek. Mahamigo ebe. The lamug migo let's me ego. Apnigage kiskuk. Lamug des penigamuin. The episode dart jigwega in to make. Akiniskam. Ja pisik to in. Ilweudiek. Melga maj winsidi. Mukmigalig. Kis no uncle, when chico go hoel, jigladui, not liach. Oh, she's down there, blessing it.
Yeah, please have a seat. Unless you'd like to stand for me, that's fine too. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. On behalf of the Ship Hector Society, I want to thank you for joining us on this truly historic occasion. The relaunch of the Ship Hector here on the shores of Pictou Harbor. We'd like to offer a heartfelt thank you to the Pictou Landing Mi'kmaq Warrior Singers for their powerful performance of the Mi'kmaq Honor Song that opened our ceremony. Yeah. This group of young men have only been together for about a year, but their strength and unity were clear in every beat of that drum. Led by drumkeeper Dante, who has been drumming most of his life, they formed through school connections and drumming with Carl Thomas. They've since grown into a proud group, learning not only the songs, but also the language, meanings, and drum protocols from Carl, Dante, and many other respected drummers in the community. We are truly grateful to have them share their voices, their teachings, and their presence with us today. Thank you again. Now, I know most of this crowd came here to hear the speeches today, so thank you very much. We've got a great lineup for you, a lot of great VIPs here on stage that I'll introduce, and most will have the chance to speak. But I thank you for being here today. And thank you to our online crowd, too, that are joining us on YouTube and Facebook. It's great to have you with us here today. My name is Wes Surratt. I'm the chair of the Ship Hector Society. Some people like to say the president. I prefer not to use the word president right now, so I'll remain the chair of the Ship Hector Society. And I said to my wife, Kate, last week, I said, in your wildest dreams, can you imagine that they would ask me to speak in front of this large a crowd? And she said to me, Wes, you're not in my wildest dreams. Still not. That joke's not getting old yet, is it? I've used it a few times. In 2010, a group of 9 people joined together with a shared vision. They believed the Hector Heritage Quay could become a destination attraction and the ship Hector could be sailing on the Pictou Harbor. Today, their dreams come one step closer. The Ship Hector Society had faith in their plan, faith in their community, and the unwavering belief that a ship belongs in the water, not on the land. This group were modern-day pioneers going forward with just volunteers and a commitment to make this region a better place for visitors and residents by providing a world-class tourism destination. And that's happening, folks. You can see it along the waterfront. You can see it throughout this town. New partnerships, new buildings, a new sense of community. 15 years ago, this site was shuttered and closed down. Today, we are destined to become a tourism icon. Not only for the Northumberland shore, not only for our great province of Nova Scotia, but for all of Canada. And this is truly something to celebrate. This relaunch is more than a celebration of shipbuilding. It's a moment to reflect on our shared history and to celebrate the spirit of resilience, culture, and community that defines this place. It's now my pleasure to welcome a proud son of Nova Scotia and the province's 30th Premier, the Honourable Tim Houston. Born in Halifax, hold on, I got to warm up here. Born in Halifax to a military family, Premier Houston grew up across Canada before returning to Nova Scotia, when his father's final posting brought them home. His deep roots in this province, including his Scottish ancestry, connect him to the very legacy we honor here today as we celebrate the relaunch of the Ship Hector. A chartered professional accountant by trade, Premier Houston earned his Bachelor of Commerce and worked internationally before settling in Pictou County in 2007 with his wife Carol, their children Paget and Zachary. It was here in local hockey rinks and community halls that his passion for Nova Scotia and its people turned into public service. First elected as MLA in Pictou East in 2013, he became the leader of the Progressive Conservative Party in 2018 and was sworn in as Premier on August 31st, 2021. Now in his second term, Premier Houston continues to deliver on his commitment of making it happen, with a strong focus on healthcare, economic growth, tourism, and opportunity for all Nova Scotians. Please, warm welcome for Premier Tim Houston. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you, Wes, for reading that exactly as I gave it to you. What a great day to be home in Pictou County with each of you. This is an absolutely remarkable day. The weather couldn't be beautiful here with each of you. I'm so proud to be with some of my colleagues as well today. The MLA for Pictou West, my good friend Marco McLeod. He's over there in the line somewhere. He's doing a great job. Oh, he heard I was speaking. He wanted to get in the picture. If you told me that Marco McLeod was going to lift this ship up and put it in the water, I'd believe you. He's doing a great job. A number of ministers here as well. I know Minister Ritzy's here with me as well. Minister Morrow's up there, and a few others as well. But what a great day to be here with each of you. Today, we're not just launching a ship today. We are reconnecting with a story of resilience, with a story of courage, with a story of hope. A story that helped shape Nova Scotia in so many ways. Just over 250 years ago, 250 years, the ship Hector brought the first wave of Scottish settlers to these shores. And their spirit built communities, it helped establish traditions, and really left a legacy that still anchors our province in so many ways. So this historic launch today, it's result of countless hours of craftsmanship, volunteering, fundraising, and support, and we're all here to really reconnect with that past. And I have to tell you, in my travels, I come across so many people who, with a twinkle in their eye, will relate the story of how their ancestors are connected to this ship. And if half of them are true, the ship was a lot bigger than it looks today. But there's such a love affair and affection with the ship Hector, and it's remarkable. And I want to thank everyone who made this happen today. The ship Hector Society, the project partners, the community volunteers, community leaders, and really everyone who believed in this dream, because it was just a dream at that stage. And to the thousands of people gathered here today on shore and behind us out in these boats as well. And to everyone watching from near and far, this is a moment to truly celebrate where we come from, and to also look ahead at what's possible for our province and for our country. We can accomplish so much together. So congratulations to Pictou County. Congratulations to all Nova Scotians on this unforgettable milestone. It's my absolute pleasure to be with you today. Enjoy the day, and congratulations, everyone.
Tartans hold deep cultural and historical significance in Scottish history. Each unique pattern or set came to represent a specific Scottish clan, family, or region, a powerful symbol of identity, heritage, and belonging. In 1999, a tartan was officially registered in Scotland for the ship Hector. It was beautifully designed by Janice Gammon of Lyons Brook in anticipation of the original launch of the Hector in the year 2000. Yes. My notes say, for those of you who can see it, our podium is proudly dressed. I can't see it from here, but I'm proudly dressed in it. It stands as a tribute to Janice's creative vision and cultural pride woven into this project from the very beginning. Today, we celebrate Janice, along with Gail, who we know is watching, and the rest of their family, as we honor their contribution to the spirit and the story of the Hector. And personally, I did not have a kilt to wear today, but I did follow another Scottish tradition and not wear any underwear. Sorry, that's not historically accurate. I apologize for those watching on YouTube who might be eating breakfast right now. We'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to all the pipe and drum bands who have traveled across this province to be part of today's celebration. 12 and 14 wing RCAF pipe bands. Na Gash Gik, thank you for putting that pronunciation for me. The Heather Bells, the Clan Thompson. And a special thanks to Drum Major Alicia Miller and retired Pipe Major Harold MacDonnell for piping us in, as well as our RCMP represented here. Thank you very much. The sound of the bagpipes is more than music. It's a living connection to Scottish heritage. For centuries, the pipes have called together communities to mark moments of joy, remembrance, and pride. Today, they help us honor the past and celebrate the future. You may have noticed one piper in particular who stood out this morning, maybe because he's about 2 feet taller than any of the other pipers. Our own Member of Parliament, Sean Fraser. Sean currently serves as Canada's Minister of Justice and Attorney General, as well as Minister responsible for the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency. We like a Quay. He has represented Central Nova since 2015 and is known not just for his work in Parliament, but also clearly for his talent on the pipes. And later this morning, we'll be putting our local MLA, Marco, to work. There's no free lunches here, folks. If you want a spot, you got to work for it. And he's going to help us drive the ship up the ways. Please welcome the Honourable Sean Fraser to the stage. Or the podium, too. Thank you for being here.
Hello and welcome everyone. Bonjour et bienvenue. Kia mila felcha. Well dosi giskuk basin de Guyanok. It is wonderful to see so many people here. To the extent, Wes, that I stand out in the crowd, I think it's because I'm by far the least talented piper here today, but thank you for hiding me in the middle so people couldn't see the mistakes I was making along the way. Look, it's remarkable to be standing on the same shores that the first Scottish settlers landed on when the ship Hector arrived more than 250 years ago. That moment helped establish a new and permanent population of Scots here in Nova Scotia, New Scotland as we know it, and in the town of Pictou, the birthplace of New Scotland. It means an awful lot to our history as a country, as a province, but even to my own family. You know, my grandfather was a crusty old guy who was very proud of his Scottish heritage. But to show you what it meant to him, I'll share a brief story with you. He was once picking up a hitchhiker on the highway to East Pictou, a guy a couple years ahead of me in school. And he got into the car and he said, "What's your name?" He said, "Mike." He said, "I don't care what your first name is. What's your last name?" He said, "Monroe." I said, "Monroe, where were you in 46? He said, "Sir, I'm 16 years old. I wasn't alive in 46. He says, "Of course you weren't. I mean, 1746, when the Monroes left the Frasers to die on the battlefield in Scotland. Get the hell out of my car." Well, look, some of these names will be intimately familiar. Whether you are a Fraser, a MacDonald, a McKay, a Cameron, a Campbell, a McGregor, a Mackenzie, a McLean, a McLeod, a Stewart, a Sutherland, even a Monroe, you may have a history connecting your ancestors to the vessel that's sitting before us today. Those of you whose roots are not grounded in the journey of the Hector across the Atlantic may live in a community whose history has been shaped by its legacy. The reality is, when people braved the Atlantic, they were in search for a better life, many fleeing persecution at the time, seeking a place where they could be safe. They traded their challenging life in Scotland for an arduous journey across the ocean and rugged terrain upon landing here. But when they landed and sought to build a community, they weren't alone. They were preceded, obviously, by other European settlers, but importantly, by Mi'kmaq people who've called these lands home since time immemorial. But for the presence and the lessons of the Mi'kmaq people who've been here for many thousands of years, it's hard to imagine that the Scots would have survived the very challenging environmental concerns. And I want to thank the organizers and the representatives from Pictou Landing First Nation in particular, Chief Young and Chief Paul, for your presence here today and your contribution for this perfect ceremony. It couldn't be more appropriate given the circumstances. Now, today we get to mark a new milestone This ship has been built to the same specs, in fact, on the original blueprints provided by a Dutch company more than 250 years ago from the original vessel. It's supported by different levels of government, by the extraordinary fundraising efforts, and I want to thank Dave Sobey in particular for helping chair the effort to get this thing into the water, including renovations supported by the federal government by more than $2 million to the Hector Heritage Quay to help preserve the stories and memory for a generation to come. But this is not just a moment to talk about preserving history. It's to honor the legacy of those who came to build a community. We're seeing an incredible renewal on the waterfront here in Pictou, whether it's the new Performing Arts Centre and Library at the DeCoste, the new marina under construction just across the harbour here, the waterfront shops and events, the historic train station, cruise ships from around the world coming to Pictou, and the crown jewel herself, the ship Hector. I want to say thank you to everyone who's taken part in today's ceremony. This is a wonderful opportunity to commemorate the legacy of Scots in Nova Scotia and to commit ourselves to honoring their legacy for a generation to come. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
We are honored to welcome to Pictou, from the Blue Nose 2, Captain Watson and his crew. Yes, please. Captain, we are deeply grateful for your support of the Hector project, not only for your valuable advice, but continually showing up to support us in this community in key moments and events. Your presence has been a great deal to our team and our community. As ambassadors of Nova Scotia's proud sailing heritage, your participation in this celebration brings both symbolism and spirit to the occasion. Thank you. As Minister Fraser mentioned, it's awesome to have Regional Chief Andrea Paul here with us today. And now I would like to invite Chief Tamara Young to come say a few words. Chief Tamara Young was elected. Give me about 10 minutes here for this one. Chief Tamara Young was elected Chief of Pictou Landing First Nation in 2023. She holds a BA in Mi'kmaq Studies and an MBA in Community Economic Development from Cape Breton University, and previously worked with the Mi'kmaq Rights Initiative, KMKNO, on issues related to Parks Canada, aquaculture, and species at risk. Shortly after taking office, Chief Young was approached by the Ship Hector Society about the redesign of our interpretive center and our vision of forming a partnership in which Pictou Landing First Nation would curate the Mi'kmaq history and culture components. She showed great trust in our project by forming an advisory council of elders who guided our design team on all Mi'kmaq elements of the new displays. The partnership has exceeded all expectations, and we invite you to visit the Hector Heritage Quay. Open free of charge this afternoon, but feel free to leave a donation, and tomorrow to experience the results of this meaningful collaboration. A special thank you to Jenny Stevens, Diane Denny, Mary Hatfield, and Sandy Denny for the countless hours they dedicated to this project. Their insight, care, and commitment helped bring the Mi'kmaq story of life to life in a powerful and authentic way. Please welcome Chief Tamara Young.
Williak Sikbuk, Himsid Nogama, good morning, all my relations. Distinguished guests, community members, elders, and friends. It is an honor to stand before you today as Chief of Pictou Landing on this important and symbolic day, the launch of the ship Hector. This vessel and what it represents carries deep meaning for the people of Pictou and all of Mi'kmaq. The arrival of the original Hector in 1773 brought new people to these shores, beginning a chapter that changed the course of history for everyone who calls this land home. For us as Mi'kmaq, our story does not begin with that ship. It began long before, with thousands of years of life, culture, and knowledge shared on these lands and waters. Today, as we gather in peace and reflection, we acknowledge that our history has layers, and that reconciliation begins when we recognize all parts of those layers, honestly, openly, and together, just as the peace and friendship treaties intended.
The launch of this new ship Hector gives us an opportunity not just to commemorate the past, but to shape a better future. One where the relationship between Mi'kmaq and non-Mi'kmaq peoples are rooted in mutual respect, truth, and shared responsibility. To the organizers, builders, and community behind this project, we say Walalio. Thank you all for including us in this moment and for recognizing that true celebration must also include understanding and respect. May the ship Hector sail forward with purpose, with healing, and with hope. Walalio. Thank you all.
This project began with a drawing, a vision carefully crafted by Vern Shea. Born from deep historical research and a passion for our maritime heritage. That vision transformed into reality through the traditional knowledge and craftsmanship of Ralph Anderson, our shipwright, and Gordon McAloney, our head carpenter, who told me earlier today that he's retiring after today. He thinks his work is done. Alongside of all the other crew, Raymond, Alex, Gavin, Mike, and Derek. Yeah. They are the ones that have given this project its shape, its soul, and its strength. Together, they have carried the weight of history, not just over the past few years, but some for the past 30 years. They have been the life and the breath of this project. Without their commitment, skill, and perseverance, there would be no Hector to launch today. And through this whole process, Vern has become quite a media darling as well. So I had a quick conversation with the Premier here earlier, and we're framing up a little bit of a Hallmark movie with your experience. Maybe Christmas in the Shire Town? Vern could be a great Santa. Teapot, Allie, Kenny Reed, make great elves. I think it could be a real project. Please join us in offering our deepest thanks and admiration to Vern, Ralph, Gordon, Ray, Alex, Gavin, Mike, and Derek, and all those who went before, the crew behind the ship. I think that's a standing ovation. Yeah, that's right. Vern's so shy. He hates all the limelight. Before we invite His Worship Jim Ryan, Mayor of the town of Pictou, we had a conversation here. I told him the tide's starting to go out, so keep his comments pretty quick. We'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the broader support we received from across Pictou County. This project has been years in the making, and it would not have been possible without the encouragement and collaboration of our municipal leaders, who understand how vital the ship Hector is to our cultural identity and to tourism in this region. Please join us in recognizing Warden Robert Parker of Pictou County, Mayor Nancy Dix of New Glasgow, Mayor Lenny White of Westville, Mayor Darren Stroud of Stellarton, and of course Mayor Alec Dove of Trenton, who insisted we remind everybody that Fun Fest is happening this afternoon at the Trenton Park. And you're all more than welcome to head over there after this baby's in the water. And now, with heartfelt appreciation, we welcome His Worship, Mayor Jim Ryan, whose unwavering support for preserving Pictou's history and investing in its future has been central to bringing the Hector back to life.
Thank you very much, Wes. Welcome, Apchilazi, Fulcha, everyone. Premier Houston, Pictou Landing First Nations Chief Young, Regional Chief Paul, the elders of Pictou Landing First Nation, MLA Marco McLeod, Minister Ritzie, Warden Parker, ship sponsor Myra Freeman, campaign manager Dave Sobey, Ship Hector Society members, special guests, ladies and gentlemen. This is truly a special day for our town, our region, and the province of Nova Scotia. As we gather to experience this spectacular launch of this reconstruction, 25 years after its original big splash, we reflect on the importance of the ship Hector to our community, not only as a tourist attraction, but how it's a symbol of perseverance, hope, and forging a new life story. For 35 years now, we have been learning about this important piece of Canadian history. However, most, if not all, of this education is presented to us from a colonial perspective. With the guidance and support of our friends, the new version of the Hector story better reflects the true connections made between the settlers and the Mi'kmaq people through the water and the land they came to share. If you haven't already done so, I encourage everyone to take time to visit the exhibits of the new Interpretive Center. Thank you to the First People of Mi'kmaq for your support in sharing in the creation of this renewed version, as understanding the story of the Hector means embracing both pride in heritage and responsibility for truth. It is only through honest reflection that we can build stronger relationships based on respect, learning, and reconciliation. Whether we are referencing the important long-term relationships formed with our Indigenous neighbors, connections made with many passenger descendants spread throughout North America, or the associated economic benefits of this iconic tourist attraction, we can all be proud of the efforts that bring us here to this point this morning. Thanks to all who made this possible. But what can I say about the Ship Hector Society, whose members over the past 15 years have worked tirelessly to get us to this point this morning? Congratulations to those members past and present on keeping alive the dream of restoring the Hector and revitalizing the Interpretive Center. I know it hasn't been easy, and there is still work to do. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge two individuals who I feel were integral in bringing the story of the Ship Hector to life on our beautiful Pictou waterfront. First, I want to acknowledge former Mayor Dan Curry, who in the late 80s and early 90s demonstrated great foresight and leadership in the creation of the original waterfront development plan and the formation of the municipal corporation that fostered and featured the Ship Hector project and the great community growth that followed. I'd also like to recognize the contributions of project manager Vern Shea for his 35 years of commitment to, and I must say, incessant promotion of, the Hector and its importance. Vern has been on this site since the very beginning, and I know we wouldn't be here today to celebrate if it wasn't for his perseverance and technical expertise. Thank you, Vern. And I'll repeat a little bit of what Wes talked about here by thanking the many workers who have worked on the site over the years. There are lots of them. But I will specifically acknowledge Raymond McPhail and Gordon McAloney, community members who were part of the original construction crew in the 90s and were still here yesterday putting the finishing touches on the ship, preparing for today's event. The day before yesterday, I took a walk into the site, and Raymond was in an extension lift here. I don't know what he was doing up there, but they were tidying some things up. And he said, this is the second time he's done this, and they made absolutely sure that he doesn't have to come back for a third time. That things are done the way they should be done. So Thanks again to Raymond and Gordon and all the workers Wes mentioned earlier. In closing, on behalf of the town of Pictou, council and staff, I say thank you to everyone who made today possible, including our government partners and the many generous corporate and individual donors. Thanks to you, we are looking forward to a future with the ship Hector and its story front and center on our beautiful waterfront. This is a living testament to our important partnerships and our commitment to cultural growth. Thank you very much.
How are we doing for time? Vern's not throwing anything at me yet, so. I don't mind public speaking, but sometimes when there's large dudes with sledgehammers staring at you to hurry up, it's a little intimidating. I'd like to take this moment to offer a special thank you to Marianne White, who, on very short notice, as in yesterday, crafted the beautiful dovetails on the Nova Scotia flag flying at the very top of the mast today. I think we can all agree it's a perfect pageantry we needed for the launch. Thank you, Marianne. Many champions to thank, and it's great to have the Minister of Community, Culture, Tourism and Heritage, Minister Ritzy, with us. Thank you for being here today. Thank you. I would be amiss, there's lots of champions, I would be amiss if I didn't mention a local champion we've had for this project for many years, our former MLA, the Honourable Carla McFarlane. I can see you over there. This would not have happened without you, and I'm sure the Premier can attest to that as well. I wanted to extend our deepest appreciation also to our volunteers. This site would not function without volunteers. An event of this size takes a dedicated crew and everything to run smoothly, and they've certainly delivered today. To Anne all the way in BC, and especially to Vicki Birch, who coordinated our entire volunteer team on the ground. Thank you. You have our respect and admiration. And yeah, applause. Pause for applause. And of course, Rebecca Whiffen, our tourism manager here, and yeah, and Linda Townsend, and all of the launch committee members who have been working on this day for so long now. Thank you for all the efforts. I'd like to recognize our board members, some are here, who are here on stage: Darlene McDonald, Ralph Heighton, Linda Townsend, Alana Monroe, Mike McKean, Helen Buchan, Charlie Parker, Karen Loudon, Noella Martin, Dave Eddy, Katie Paul, Don Francis, Robert Fry, Ron Bailey, and of course all the past board members and all the past volunteers. This does not happen without people like you. And it doesn't happen without people like the next guy too. In every project like this, there are people who quietly carry more than their share, not for credit or for recognition, but because they believe in the story at the heart of it. And Dave Sobey is one of those people. As Vice President of Operations Atlantic at Sobeys, Dave brings leadership to our region's most iconic company. But his role in this project has been something different, something rooted in care, commitment, community, and a deep sense of responsibility. As co-chair of the Ship Hector Society's capital campaign, Dave helped lead a remarkable fundraising effort that brought communities together, united families, and helped turn a bold vision into a reality. He's been a quiet force behind the scenes, listening, learning, and helping guide this project forward with integrity and heart. And today, he and his family joins us not only as leaders, but as someone whose connection to this story runs deeper than he may have ever expected. Please join me in welcoming Dave Sobey.
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day to be standing on these shores, surrounded by family, friends, community, and history. Thank you, Wes. It's an honor to be here with all of you today. Like so many Nova Scotians, I was drawn to this project out of a deep respect for our province, our country, and its history. Before we dive into today's event, I want to share a story that's become deeply personal to myself and one that I believe speaks to something much bigger than just a ship. The Hector landed and is what is now Pictou, Nova Scotia, part of Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. In that moment, everything changed for the settlers and for those who were already here. The Mi'kmaq people welcomed the newcomers with open arms. They helped them survive those harsh first winters, teaching them how to live off the land, how to fish, how to hunt, and how to endure. Without that generosity, many would have not made it. It was only through my involvement as co-chair of the Ship Hector Society's capital campaign that I discovered that one of those settlers, William McClellan, was my own ancestor. And what started as a historical project had become a journey of discovery, not just for me, but for my entire family. I had no idea. I also had the privilege of sharing this journey with someone I deeply admired, John Oliver. John was my co-chair, my mentor, and my friend. His love for this project ran deep. He believed in its power to connect, to educate, and to inspire. John passed away in 2024, and I do miss him. I want to take a moment to recognize his wife, Connie, and his family, who are here with us today. Thank you for sharing him with us. His spirit is with us now, in this moment, in this place. This ship and this event are just the beginning. They are a testament to what can happen when a community comes together, when we honor our shared past and build something lasting for the future. Along the way, something else happened too, something bigger than a ship. New friendships were formed. I want to acknowledge Regional Chief Andrea Paul and Chief Tamara Young and the entire community of Pictou Landing First Nation. Your generosity, your knowledge, and your willingness to walk alongside us has meant more than I can say. I've learned so much during this journey, and one thing I've come to understand is how important it is to listen. And today, in the spirit of shared history, of respect, gratitude, and listening, I'd like to offer a few words of Mi'kmaq. Walalio Olnuk Awula Mahamigel Mi'kma'ki. Thank you to the Mi'kmaq people in this land of Mi'kma'ki. I've been learning how to say this properly because it matters. This land has had a name long before any ship arrived. Two peoples, the Mi'kmaq and the Scottish settlers, began their story, and we're still learning from today. Today we honor that history and the descendants of both the Mi'kmaq people, who have always called this land home, and the descendants of those first settlers, and those who continue to arrive with hope, courage, and purpose. And we also honor the friendships that continue to grow between our communities. To everyone who has touched this project, the shipbuilders, the volunteers, the staff, the donors, the visionaries, and my own family, and most of all, my amazing wife Jacqueline and my daughter Peyton, you haven't just built a replica, you've revived a legacy. The ship Hector is a story of resilience, of community, and of connection. It's not just about a ship. It's about something we've done for ourselves. It's about future generations who are going to carry this story forward. Thank you. Oh, and one last thing. This is news that is just in. The David and Faye Sobey Foundation is going to be donating an additional $250,000 to the project. Thank you. As well as the Sobey Foundation, Sobeys Inc., and Sobey family members are going to be donating an additional $1 million. So I know Vern's here. Vern, order those engines. We're doing this. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Woo!
Well, thank you very much. That's very generous. Any other speakers who'd like to donate $1 million, please make your way to the stage right now. That's amazing. That's amazing. And an important point, putting this ship back in the water is a key point, but we still got a lot of work to do. We've got engines to order, which I think we're going to order now, Vern. Go get on the horn right now. We've got masts, we've got rigging, we've got a lot of work to do yet. So our campaign is not over yet, and we'll be harassing you much more in the future. At this time, we'd like to take a moment to recognize the generous support of the sponsors and community partners who have made this incredible milestone possible. We'd extend our heartfelt thanks to the Sobeys Foundation, the Dave and Faye Sobey Foundation, Dave, Jackie, and Peyton Sobey, the River Phillip Foundation, Scotiabank, John and Connie Oliver, and SW Weeks Construction. Thank you very much for your donations. We'd also recognize the dedication of the Cornerstone Community Service organizations, including the Rotary Club of Pictou and the Kinsman Club of New Glasgow, whose long-standing support for this region has been instrumental in bringing this project to life. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. We're getting there. And of course, the sponsors for today's event, the Nova Scotia Department of Communities, Culture, Tourism and Heritage, and Minister Ritchie, thank you very much, and the Pictou Advocate, thank you very much. And to the countless local businesses and individuals, too many to name right here today because people are tired of listening to me talk, whose contributions, large and small, have helped us reach this day, we are deeply grateful. The ship was not rebuilt by one person or one organization, it was rebuilt by a community. And this launch is a celebration of what community can accomplish together. Thank you very much. All right. Are you folks ready? That was pathetic. Are you folks ready? Yeah! How about over here? By the lighthouse, are you ready? I don't think they're ready. How about the cost side? No, we're gonna go down on the ice here. We're going down to ice level. I'm throwing down to my partner. I don't see him. I think he's out there somewhere. Sandy Mackay, are you here? There you are. There you are. Are you live? Are you hot? Are you live? All right, we're going down to ice level. Go ahead, Sandy.
All right, folks. We're going to start the driving up here in just a moment. I'm here to tell you just a couple of little stories. First off, I'm going to break with tradition. I want to pay tribute to those past and present volunteers, but some of those over the last 25 years, and it's actually 35 since the laying of the keel, we've lost some of those who helped on this project. Normally we'd ask for a moment of silence, but I thought today it might be more appropriate to have a round of applause for those people who gave so much to this project. Thank you very much for that. Now, they say time and tide waits for no man, but Vern assures me that he's made the tide stop going out, and we have a couple of minutes. So I want to recognize a few people who are here, and I'm going to ask them to stand as they are able. Johannes Hilkema. Johan, where are you? Are you on deck? Where are you? You're hiding around here somewhere. There he is, right there. Mr. Hilkema was in partnership with Jim McGuire of J.B. McGuire and Associates. They did the original research on the project for the flute ship design that you see here today. He's also Vern's former boss, so Vern thought he could still earn brownie points if I mentioned that he was here. Great to see you. Thank you very much. Susan McDonald. Susan, are you here? Susan is the person who won the contest to name Kala Avenue when that was being constructed. Now, Kala, for those of you who don't know, means landing place for a ferry, or it's an area in a harbor where ships would land. So, Susan, thank you so much for that, for the naming. Next, I'm going to move on to just a brief recounting of the Hector story. The Hector, in early July, they'd advertised for about a year looking for people to get on the vessel. The people who ended up on that ship paid for their passage. It wasn't tremendously expensive, but they came over here expecting a new life. Conditions in Scotland were terrible. Their religion had been outlawed, their tartan had been outlawed, and the bagpipes had been outlawed. They couldn't put up with it anymore. The promise of arable land that was available here in this county and throughout the province and throughout all of North America was too tempting. Those 189 passengers braved what became an epic story of misery and torture. It was just horrible. Starvation, you name it. They had smallpox on board the vessel. It was hideous. I want you to know that it is not a typical story of how the rest of the Scots settlers made their way to North America. Those settlers made their way here, and it was normal sailing over and back. The final voyage of the ship Hector was made from Pictou to Scotland, where she was abandoned on the banks of the River Clyde. The vessel was about 40 years old, and it was done. She was left to rot on the banks of the River Clyde. Back in Pictou, the land that they'd been promised was not necessarily the land that they were offered once they got here. About 80 people stayed that first winter, and if it had not been for the tremendous support of members of the Mi'kmaq Nation, they would not have survived, and it's that simple. For whatever reason, this is the story that captivated all the tales of early Highland settlement. They weren't the first Scottish settlers. There were others who came a couple of years before that went to Boston. But it marked the beginning of a mass immigration to North America, which still has lasting effects to this day. So now back to the business of the ship itself. The ship, when it was commissioned and the keel was laid, it moves on from there, and then we had the magic day in 2000 when the ship was ready to launch. It was an absolutely exhilarating event. Our former Lieutenant Governor, Myra Freeman, was here on the Saturday when the event was canceled due to the incredibly bad weather, the high winds, the driving rain. It was unspeakable outside. But Myra Freeman knew something. She knew that this was important. And so the very next day, she changed her schedule and came back and was here when the ship was launched. As such, she is the patron of the ship Hector. Now, for those of you who don't understand what that means, it's largely on a par with being a godparent. When you're appointed as the patron, you remain the patron for the lifetime of the ship until one of you is taken out of service. So, we are so thrilled to have Myra Freeman back with us today. And what we're going to do now is a little ceremonial moment. And I checked with her first to see how many coins she had. It's believed that the sponsor's presence and spirit will guide the ship and its crew throughout its service. The ship sponsor is a one-off appointment. Nobody else becomes a ship sponsor, and no one will ever replace Myra Freeman. So I'd ask her to come forward. I'm going to put on my white gloves, and I'll tip my hat. Myra Freeman, thank you so much. And now, where did Vern go? Are we ready to start banging? Hi, we're ready to go? Have at her. Oh, wait, sorry, 1 second. Wes, I'm going to turn it back over to Wes for just a moment.
Thank you, Sandy. All of the Scottish immigrants aboard the Hector would have spoken and prayed in Gaelic. To honor that tradition, we are pleased to share a Gaelic prayer in its English translation, led by Reverend Mary Beth Moriarty and Innes Scullion. Reverend Mary Beth is the minister with the United Church of Canada here in Pictou. Innes Scullion has come all the way from Scotland as part of the Alba Football Association, an organization that uses football to connect, inspire, and grow Scottish Gaelic through community sport, both nationally and internationally. We're honored to have both Reverend Mary Beth and Innes share this meaningful prayer with us today.
If you have ever doubted in the goodness of Creator or creation, may today remove all of those doubts. A blessing for this day. Upon this day, upon these waters, upon the hands of those who've labored, upon our hearts and upon our lips, a blessing. This day and always may God be beside us, may God be behind us, may God be before us, may God be within us. May God be around us and may God be with us, companion in life. The guarding of God be upon us, the guarding of the love of our Creator be with us, the guarding of the spirit of our ancestors be upon us, to aid us, to enfold us each day and each night of our lives.
Mating va, can mi seo na Gaelic a dosach. Yn Jew agus go brach, gyda tia ddi'r tŵf, gyda tia idd'r cwdl, gyda tia roing, crwych y behe. Gan by tia mewn gwrstioring, gan by tia na'r brwyn, gan by tia maladyn, company on yn behe. Gian ye na behe orf, gian chriest na'n graarf, gian yn spirit move aro, gus cwtchach agus cwrstchach, ga chwa agus eiche tiar behe. A singe dal a ruchchach, na halapanich a gad as a dwi hacking heen, agus a sheesha na halapanich a ruchchach, en jou in je gaanol. Gebianis chia water, gebianis chia gaiersnach, gegaait de showy sing, agus gebianis chia gaiersnach, ik a showy gaiersnach hacking heen. More than thank.
Thank you very much. Couldn't have said it better myself. All right. You paid for your whole seat. You're only going to need the edge of it right now. Sandy, back to you.
Vern, I'm waiting for the signal to start our engines here. We're going to start. You ready? Go! I'll tell you a little bit about the side launch of a vessel. It's done this way for a specific reason. Normally you'd see a stern launch in North America. This vessel is side launched for the purpose of turning the ways into a wharf where the ship can be moored. And it ends up saving a significant amount of money in the construction of a wharf. So that's the reason we go this way instead of the traditional stern launch. The ship is being slowly tipped towards the harbor. There are triggers that are in place. Once the ship has become over that center line where it actually leans towards the water side, that's when they can pull the triggers and move the ship down the ways. The ways are covered in grease. There's banana there, there's goose grease, there's all kinds of different things that goes into the concoction, which is centuries old, in order to facilitate a side launch. Having said that, what happens is there's still heat generated, and so with this launch, you will see a smoking on the ways, and that's because of that heat that is generated there. There you go. The blocks that they're knocking out now are the blocks that the ship was resting on, fully suspended and keeping it from going in either direction. Mm-hmm.
ready to fire this, sir, you can't stand up. The boys in front of you are going to be stepping ahead, so that's your cue to move.
They are just knocking out the last of the supports. We've got a 2-minute warning, two blocks to go. All right, so we're fairly short time from now. We're going to be moving forward and into the water. So we expect to hear it from you folks once that happens. That cheer you heard was, we're down to one of the supports left to go. And that should only be a few moments.
You guys are going to step ahead to the wheel, aren't you? Or are you going to fire right from there?
It's under that wire. There's a wire. It's under that. Everyone's out of the way. So clean this up.
For those of you who can't see this side of the vessel, there was a support post that was knocked out. Under that support post, it has not been painted. So moments before the ship goes in the water, the last piece of paint is being applied.
It's going to be wet when she goes in the water.
We are just awaiting the signal from Vern. We are almost there. Thank you all for your patience. And get ready to see something spectacular. All right. I hear Vern say it's time for me to introduce to you. We're just seconds away, so take a moment and please welcome Randy and Laura Scott, Katie O'Coin, our Pictou School Hector Choir, and John Spider McDonald with Bless the Ship Hector.
As I look back out upon Lochbroom Harbour, a proud Highland lad setting forth to the new world, I sighed my farewells with a heart that was heavy. The Scotland I'd loved was that Scotland no more. Oh, bless the ship Hector that carried us over, for stormy deliverance, heavenly praise. Monroe, Ross, and Sutherland, far from the motherland, on Pictou's fair shores, a new Scotland we raise. We've pride in the tartan, our hearts cry the Gaelic. Now freedom it beckons, take passage to Pictou, though danger can threaten and death it may follow. A child born in this voyage is our symbol of hope. Oh, bless the ship Hector that carried us over, for stormy deliverance, heaven be praised. Monroe, Ross, and Sutherland, far from the motherland, on Pictou's fair shores, a new Scotland we raise. The Hector safe landed us, bagpipes accompanied us, faced the dark forest with axe and with courage. These new lands bid welcome to faith and to hard work. Let history record how our promise rings true. Oh, bless the ship Hector that carried us over, for stormy deliverance, heaven be praised. Monroe, Ross, and Sutherland, far from the motherland, on Pictou's fair shores, a new Scotland we raised. Oh, bless the ship Hector that carried us over, for stormy deliverance, heaven be praised. Monroe, Ross, and Sutherland, far from the motherland, on Pictou's fair shores, a new Scotland we raise.
Were you here for the one 25 years ago? No. Okay, me neither. Yeah, sure. Somebody get a camera?
Gun crew, prepare to disperse.